Welcome back, guys. Apparently, hold on, I'm getting new information right now.
You took your IFB out.
Apparently, it's so cold. Don't tell them it's not in my ear. They can't see that. It's so cold outside that our stream froze up. The stream froze, Rick. It's so cold out there that the stream froze up. That's it. I can't believe this.
I think because we had so many people too.
That's actually true
broke
too.
it.
We broke the stream, guys.
Sorry.
There's so many of you in here that we broke the stream. You know what? Let's break it again. So what I want you to do is share the video again. I know I'm asking a lot, but look, it's freezing out there. I'm commenting to you guys.
They said we can hear you now. Okay, good.
So everybody, can you hear me now?
Test it out.
Thumbs up. Can you hear me now? Is this thing on or something? Thumbs up. Can you hear me now? Laughing if you think I'm a complete idiot.
Yes.
Please.
Natasha said we crashed it.
Guys, we crashed the stream. We've got so many people in here. Rick, I feel like we did something now. This actually makes me feel even better. I feel like I'm feeling a real high right now about this. All right, so please share the video with friends, family. There's 2,000 people in here. I want everybody back. There was about 3,800 people watching the stream when it got so cold it froze the stream. But when you share the video, you'll get some of those people back, and let's continue our discussion here.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
I don't know. A lot of people in here.
We'll have to get our IT guys and troubleshoot this. And really,
we've got our best people on this.
There you go.
All right, so we're moving back on. Where were we? We were in the fact that this is a really, really large area. There'll be ripple effects here to the aviation industry, travel, everywhere. We heard from Gil and Fallon earlier what our state, what our cities are doing to try to prepare for this. But I think everybody's in here because they want to know about snow and how much. So as we look around our area, Rick, this has not entered into our area yet, but you can definitely see that storm system really obvious. Very specifically, you'll notice that now this is picking up in Oklahoma City. So I have family in Oklahoma City. My brother lives there, and I texted him today and I said, you guys are going to get a big one. Originally, some of the data showed that they may actually get a little bit of a sleet contamination, kind of what we have been at least eyeing for parts of our area, but they're going to see almost all snow out there, and this is going to be a big, big snow for that area. But Rick, you can see, I mean, it covers a large chunk. I mean, you've got the initial slug, and I think that's what I find interesting here. What you're looking at right there, that's storm number 1. That is the first wave that comes in tomorrow.
And the first wave won't be here until later tomorrow. I know a lot of people are saying, well, there'll be some snow starting during the morning. Yeah, late morning, there could be snow showers. And think of those snow showers as just a tease. And it's really not until 3, 4 p.m. that the steadier snow starts to begin. And that's going to be the snow that will start to really accumulate. And here's the thing. It's so cold that we froze the stream, but also so cold that every single flake that falls still can't get over that. It's going to stick, which means it's not going to take a lot of time. In fact, probably hardly any time to see those roads deteriorate. So they erode immediately because it's so cold. Snow comes down, and it's going to be light initially, Mark. It's not going to be crazy heavy at the beginning part of the storm. That's going to be with that secondary slug of moisture. But just looking at this map, as a meteorologist, love to see the fact we have Gulf moisture, Pacific moisture meeting up with polar air, and you see the results as all that moisture now turns from liquid to frozen. And that frozen track, it's moving right overhead of our area.
You know, this is an interesting one. Rick makes some really, really, really good points there because you open the Gulf and you can very clearly see the stream of moisture coming off the Pacific. And then you add into the mix the polar vortex. You've got this low that's going to come in behind and create the real kind of big one that comes through on Sunday. Here's the thing. Rick makes some really, really important points to this whole thing. And that is that it is seriously cold out there. In the warmest part of today, the pavement got to 33 degrees. We've dropped 10 degrees out there. There's no sun out there anymore. And so these pavement temps are absolutely primed to take on this snow and to accumulate this snow. And if it's not treated, the second it falls, Rick, it sticks. I'm talking the flake that falls, it sticks.
It's sticky. And I know, and credit to all the crews out there. They've been brining like crazy. I can see not only just one line, but multiple lines of brine and brine. I know they're going to wait and hold off to salt and until the snow kind of starts. But when you have this much snow, at some point, it's a
agree.
losing battle. And I hate to say that. It's not trying to.
I mean, it's part of the
you know,
reality.
yeah, exactly. It's not something against them. It's just no matter who you are, you can't really keep up with Mother Nature, especially when we have all these elements combined coming together at the right time.
So what's going to happen is they'll brine, which will try to affect the initial, and then they may salt. They may avoid the salt until the end. What they may do is then immediately go into the plow. The plow situation's going to be effective early on because it won't be snowing as hard.
Yeah.
But once we get that second wave, let's say after midnight, 3 a.m. on Sunday night into Saturday night into Sunday, it's going to be falling hard. Let's say they go through, they plow the road. Problem is they plowed the road now. You're like, that's not a problem. Well, the problem is you can get an inch of snow, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches by the time they get back again to plow it again. So these are going to be difficult things. Give them some latitude. I know they're going to be working hard. Rick, have you been outside yet today, since earlier?
No.
I haven't either. So Sean, one of our production guys, when we have these videos,
I don't wanna.
we can't really go out to get dinner here. So they go out and they normally grab us something to eat. So Sean, thank you. And Sean was the one that actually brainchild our ability to bring Studio A into our Studio C.
Long story short, Sean's the man.
Sean is the man.
Yeah.
I'm a belly full of a sandwich right now because of Sean, but it's cold. It's cold, guys. The wind chill is 1 below 0.
Gosh.
If you like that, tell us. Let us see. If you think it's too cold, throw the angry face on there.
I just shivered
You
thinking
know what?
about it.
I'm going to see if I can find an angry face. I just threw an angry face myself on there because it's cold. The wind chill's 1 below 0. Maybe that's just Louisville. That's 3.
3. A lonely 3.
E-Town, you are a balmy 3 right now.
You got dew point?
I know. I'm going to come back to that. You know me too well.
I
You know
spoiled it.
exactly
I
what graphic I've
spoiled it.
included, don't you?
I don't, but
Yes, you do now. 12 in Corridon with a wind chill coming in at 1 below 0. And Seymour. This is the one
Well,
I'm really interested in.
because it's up top. Ugh.
Look at that wind chill.
Look at the wind itself. I mean, it's on Chinook Medical, so it's, truth be told, it's elevated.
It's still
20 miles per hour and a wind chill of 5 below.
8. The temp's already down to 8. Rick, we've talked about this a lot.
Oh, you do have the dew points in there.
Of course I have that. You know me, so we had to set the plate.
Yeah.
This storm system, we needed to set the plate for the storm to arrive. What does that even mean? It means when you look at the earmark, the historical storms within our area, the cold has to arrive pre-storm. If the cold arrives with the storm, you change over. If the cold arrives before, storm rides the cold air, you got a chance to get one of the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
The things, the earmarks of what produce our biggest snows happened on this
It's
one.
a sequence of events. It's like a story. And if you follow that guideline, this is how you make it to one of the big ones, like you said.
And I got a question for you here. So I'm going to ask you this. Have you gotten shocked today touching anything?
Yes, multiple times.
So do you guys know why this is happening? It's the exact reason I have this graphic in here. It's because we have Arctic air in our area. The dew points are ridiculously low and you get static on everything. Has anybody else? I've been shocked like 5 times today. So it's because the air's so dry. Now, this is an important thing. This may seem unimportant. Who cares that the dew points are low, whatever. But Rick, as that precipitation starts to come in, this in particular for tomorrow is going to counteract any attempt to warm mid-levels.
Yeah, right.
So what this means for our Saturday is we are going to assure you that this one's snow on Saturday. And I think this is really important. So initial wave number 1 on Saturday is all snow because the low dew points will counteract any attempt to warm. Rick, we look at temperatures around our region, around our area. This is legit Arctic air that's in our area right now.
There's no doubt about it. 15 in E-Town, 8 in Bedford, 12 in Shelbyville. And widen out, Chicago, this is not a wind chill. That's your air temperature. 9, that was him, not me. 9 below 0. You know, with a wind chill, we're complaining that the wind chill is going to be that cold. Chicago, that's their actual air temperature.
Well, Rick, since you're talking about wind chills, I think
okay.
you know
Oh,
me. Oh, man.
minus 27?
I mean, you know, when you like were to look at a storm system and you would think about what you need before the storm arrives, you're looking at the map right there.
That's, you know, that's hibernation level cold for me. That's the kind of stuff that you...
13 below Indy. 27 below in Chicago. Do you know yesterday during the newscast at 10, Guess what Duluth was?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
54 below zero.
Duluth was?
The wind chill was 54 below zero.
We tracked that same wind chill all the way down from the North Pole.
Isn't it fun what we do? I mean,
well,
it
yeah,
is.
I wouldn't be here if it's something. It's cool to see, but it's not cool to feel. You know what I
But
mean?
hear what I mean, though. Like, we're forecasting it. We've kind of got this conceptual model of what happened. We say this sometimes 7-10 days into the future, what we think is going to happen. And then in those moments of live seeing it happen, watching the sequence of events coming together, and then tracking that cold, like you said, from
Right.
the North Pole basically down into the US, it's wild to actually
cool.
see.
And it's, I mean, between the physics and the calculus, to have computer models that can do this and track this and then be able to, you know, take that data and create our own forecast with it, it's pretty wild. I just, that one particular wind chill stuck out my mind. That number, I couldn't get rid of it. So to watch it actually travel, and they call that tracing the source region of air,
You got it.
all the way back up to the North Pole. It's pretty cool stuff.
All the way to the North Pole. So number 2, can we keep this cold in the area tomorrow? I'm going to let you decide. These are 2 computer models. The GFS is called the Global Forecast System. The GFS is a model that's an American model. Is it the best? Then you have the Euro in there. Euro is legendary in its physics, in its 500 millibar mid-level low accuracy. It is sometimes 10 to 15% more accurate over traces against the GFS. But here's the reason I'm showing you this. Who cares which is the most accurate in this case? Because they're both showing literally the exact same thing. Now we go into Sunday. I find the most interesting part here, Rick, is you look into our southeast counties and it traces you then into southeast Kentucky. And you can see on Sunday morning there's some above freezing temperatures that are trying to fight.
Right.
And that's what's happening at the surface. But some of that's going to ride up over this very dense Arctic air mass, and that's where precipitation type comes into play.
Right. And that's why we're not talking pure snow. Sleet, if you hear the word sleet, but you don't know what that is. So here we are at the top of the atmosphere with the clouds, right? And then that cloud precipitates snow. That snow will fall into that warm layer that Mark just talked about. And if it is thick enough, we'll see that melt and then refreeze before it hits the surface. And that's why we get sleet. And you think of sleet on a microscopic level, it's just this tiny ice cube. So it basically little ice cubes falling from the sky. Now, freezing rain, that warm layer is much bigger, which is why it stays as a raindrop longer through the column. And then what happens is it freezes on contact when it hits. So if you stuck your hand out, it would just be drops in your hand. But it freezes to power lines, cars, you know, in this case, some snow, because we'll have a layer of snow already down. And that's
We've
going to,
all seen it.
it's going to create kind of that cake effect where you have some snow, some sleet, some
The
freezing
7-layer
rain,
cake stuff.
7-layer cake, put some frost. Well, and there's going to be snow on top of that. So cut yourself a slice, but that's going to
No,
be
that's
different
not
depending on
everybody.
where you are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, we're
From
on the
north
same
to
page
south,
on
this
this
is going to
one.
be a really big difference.
But you then can see as we go into the afternoon, once we breach around 2, I think we both agree that the atmosphere surface and aloft would become cold enough to support all snow. And you can see as we move towards Monday what's obviously going on. Why are those temperatures so cold? Because the weather models realize that there is going to be snow on the ground. So from here, it's worth noting that the wind chills by Monday morning, you're like, well, wait a minute, Mark. If today's a cold weather advisory, Monday has to be one, right? Well, yeah. Tuesday morning.
Have mercy.
So, Rick, this is maybe not cold weather advisory. This
Extreme.
may be extreme cold warning.
Mhm.
We don't get these all that often in the
No.
area, but you can see when we build these color tables, we try to build the brightness into the how impactful it will be. And those are some of the bright colors. So from here, what I want to do is just give you a moment, guys. What we're going to do is show you future radar. This is if you want to invite somebody in, your friends or your family, now's the time to send them a text. Share. If you're one of our YouTube viewers, we've got 400 of you in here right now. If you have a way to share, let your friends know to come in on the video. Now is the time. What I want you to note is as we look at this, the top right part of your screen indicates the time. The time's obviously very important because, Rick, we're going to get a lot of questions that are asking, when is it going to get to my area? And that is right there on the top. So as you view this, view the top right. And Rick, let's walk our way through this.
Okay.
So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Impacts tomorrow morning if you're up early.
Let's say you're up early and you want to get a couple last minute errands done. you can do that. There's a snow shower chance, but it's a slim one, especially to our south. But if you want to go out and venture out very early on, you can get back home pretty quickly, then you can go ahead and do that. Now, that's not going to be the case later in the day. So morning, we'd say snow showers begin around 10 to 11 o'clock. And as we advance forward, those snow showers get a bit more organized. So the teaser will be during the morning. More organized snow, steadier snow, that will arrive between 3 and 4 o'clock. And at that point, it's game on. Snow continues overnight, begins light, will turn moderate. But really, I want to emphasize this, that the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday, that's when the heaviest precipitation is going to fall. So I know some people, if you're saying Saturday, you're going to see a big layer of snow. That's not going to be the case for a good portion of the day.
And I will note that we talked about this yesterday, but some of the data showed a little bit of a gap at around 7 through around midnight. That's not showing up anymore in the data.
Right.
I am clear with you guys. I have advised the University of Louisville for years. Something I really enjoy. They're great. But one of the things I told them is that some of the data, this is when I spoke with them yesterday, showed a little gap in the evening. I said, you're wagering if you're trying to get into that gap. And I cannot guarantee you that gap's real. And what obviously was decided is to move a lot of these games up to try to get the game going before the snow starts to get in. And, you know, someone's going to ask, well, if the game gets out at, let's say 4 or 5, am I going to be driving in snow?
Yeah,
you are. That I don't think we can get away from that. So from here, we start to now move into the overnight hours. Now we're looking at what's going on at 11 p.m. on Saturday, and let me show you that full. So now you can see that we've got snow in our area. You can see that sleet freezing rain line in the southern part of our area. Now you're starting to see brighter colors all across our area. As Rick mentioned, 2 to 3 go time. It's on. It is going strong at 7 a.m. Rick, I've been asked several times, you know, there's this thing called thunder snow, thunder sleet. It's not a song by AC/DC. Well,
it is, isn't it?
Thunderstruck.
Oh,
But
it's close.
were you being serious?
I'm just kidding.
You were being serious. Don't even try it. He thought it really was the name of the song.
It sounded pretty close.
So can you get thunder and lightning with snow or sleet falling on Sunday morning? Yes. Rick, I also think it's worth noting that the whites are the air temperatures. Look at Campbellsville. This is real close to freezing.
Very close.
And this is where, if there's going to be, excuse me, ice accumulation, this is when we're concerned. Now, this run of advanced track, Rick, takes the snow sleet line to around the parkways. We've seen
Western Kentucky, bluegrass, yep.
But we've seen some model data take that all the way into Louisville. Yesterday took it into southern Indiana. It's not as far north in the latest models. And I'm going to let you talk for a second because you know what I'm going to do?
Drink some water.
No, HRRR just came in and I'm going to view
okay.
that. So
sounds like you need a little water too, though.
Okay, you're right. I completely need water, but I'm going to still look at data.
Okay. Yeah. So basically,
that water's so good.
He's enjoying his water. What happens is sometimes the models can't depict how far south the Arctic air makes it because it's very thin and it's very dense. So they won't pick up on that initially, but as new data comes in, new runs, which he's doing right now, come in, it's able to capture that very cold, dense air and how far it is propagated. So that's why we are starting to see a shift now a bit farther down to the south because it is now picked up on that colder Arctic air. And what that means is that a different track with the actual storm, not by a huge amount, but little shifts at all at this sort of range can make a huge difference in what you get in snow, what you get in sleet. Trust me, everyone's still going to get wintry weather here, but it does have a big impact on where that storm rides. And when you have a dividing line, when we have sleet, that would cut down on snow totals. The more sleet you see, the less snow. But just north of that sleet line mark, that's where you just get pummeled with heavy snow.
So, Rick, I've had a chance to view. I don't think we're going to make any adjustments based on this. But the new NAM we need to see. The NAM has been the warmest model of all the models that we have. The HRRR, by the way, does shift the sleet line further north now.
Okay.
It takes it almost, and I'm sure what you're going to do on yours is look, it takes the sleet line almost to the little, you're the man, Sean. Sean's in here helping us, making sure everything's running good. This takes the sleet line to, let me look at the counties. It's close to Louisville. It looks like it's within basically around a county of Louisville. And that's the reason why we've been somewhat hesitant to move the highest snow south of Louisville. I think based on what I'm seeing here still, Bullitt County is probably the area where when this is all said and done is going to be the northern edge of that sleet line. And you can see on advanced track, this is real close. But back to what we were talking about here. Once we breach around 2 p.m., let me say that again. Once we breach around 2 p.m., we are going to then transition everything at the end of this into snow. One thing that's interesting to note is there is kind of an extension of that snow, Rick, that goes west along 64. What is that thing?
That is a deformation zone.
These are interesting, right? Because these can cause a narrow band of very heavy snow.
Right. So what happens in the atmosphere, there's a lot of stretching that occurs over our head, and that pulling allows for more precipitation to fall in a short, narrow window. And in those zones, you can get a hit of some heavier snow. And usually in those zones is where the highest snowfall totals tend to occur. Usually. But again, this is just one element of an entire forecast that we put together. But know that it's going to end with snow, no matter where you are.
And normally the def zone, which Rick is alluding to, this axis of heavier snow, would normally be just a county or two north of the sleet. So this could put that heaviest axis near the Ohio River. So from here, we see this comes to an end on Sunday night into Monday morning, and you know the cold. Guys, what we're going to show you now is what we call numerical weather model output. This is how much snow is it showing. You're like, well, Mark, it froze on part of it. Correct. The data is coming in as we speak now, which is kind of actually pretty cool. But we can see this goes through midday on Sunday. This is our in-house weather model. It shows about 6 inches Campbellsville, comes up in E-Town, and it shows the strike near Louisville and into southern Indiana as being the highest. Now, Rick, this only goes through midday, so we would expect the other models to show more.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you speak to the NAM. The NAM is one of our models that has been one of the models that shows the sleet line a little further north.
Right. Has it basically through Bullitt County, and you notice just north of that, it shows 16 inches of snow in Louisville. This is just, again, not a forecast, but one model's output for how much snow. And that area of heavy snow basically adjacent and right along and north of the Ohio River going through Paoli into Madison. And notice from north to south the difference as we chop off some of that snow because of sleet contamination.
You got it.
It shows 8 in E-Town and around 6 in Campbellsville.
And that real gradient from Louisville to E-Town is not less precipitation falling, Rick.
Yeah.
That's getting chewed up by sleet. And we talked about, you guys were doing this in your video earlier. If we had, let's just say, this much liquid equivalent produce this much snow. If it's sleet, give me a line so people could see about how much sleet that would be. So what it is basically is 5 times less.
Right.
If you go in a sleet and let's just say 3 inches of snow would have fallen in that 3-hour period, and now instead it's sleet, that would be about a half an inch.
Right. And also consider you get snow first, sleet on top of that. That sleet can compact that snow and push it down and compress it, which means it may not appear as though you had as much snow.
So the NAM is showing the strike near and just north of the river. We're going to go to the GFS. You're like, Mark, I thought you didn't trust this model. Well, you can see why. But in a video, I think that we can show you guys some of what we deal with and what we work with. And lastly, we're going to go to the Euro, and you're probably like, well, Mark, you said this is a great model. What's the differences here? So when we look at this weather model, what is the Euro good at? The Euro is good at a lot of things. I would say it's kind of, if you're to say what encompasses the best skill set, it's the Euro. What is the best skill set in long range? Euro. What's the best model in the short range? It's not the Euro. And part of the reason is the boundary layer physics and the boundary layer resolution of the Euro is not as good as, let's say, something like the NAM or the HRRR. We've built these models that go out a shorter period of time to have a lot more layers. Why? Well, if we ran that exceptionally high resolution model, and I'll give you an example, the HRRR. If we ran this exceptionally high resolution model out 384 hours, we would chew through massive amounts of time on our supercomputers, not at WDRB, but that the Weather Enterprise uses at NOAA. And NOAA has to partition the models and how much time they're going to use so that they can run everything that needs to be run. So that's why we don't use these exceptionally high resolution models out to 384 hours. It would take forever to run them, even on the biggest supercomputers. So that's why we lean more on things like the HRRR and the NAM. But that said, one of the things I noticed the biggest difference here, Rick, is Elizabethtown. The euro is significantly higher than the NAM was here. And I think that may be erroneous because we do think there's going to be some sleet contamination there.
Right. And, that's why we kind of lean more towards sometimes the NAM, HRRR when we get closer to the end of some of these. But obviously GFS's output.
We threw that in the trash.
Yeah. I mean, just.
So, Rick,
wild.
from here, I'm going to guess. You're out there right now and you're like, Mark, you've shown me all this. You've shown me different weather models. Are you going to show me your forecast? And I would say yes. Rick, let's talk through this concept first. You talked about this snow timeline. And since you did talk about it, I'm going to hand the first 2 bullets to you.
Okay. So first, snow showers. Not steady, not heavy, not constant snow, but snow showers break out around 10 to 11 a.m. on Saturday, which, like I said before, if you want to get some last minute stuff done, you are good to go during the morning. But post 3, 4 p.m., that's when the snow picks up. Steady snow, initially light, and that's going to accumulate when it starts, which means pretty quickly the roads are going to go downhill despite the brine and the salt from the crews. It's really all snow Saturday night. This first burst that we get is all snow. It's not until later Saturday night into Sunday that we start to get that mixing happening, and that mixing includes sleet, which you've explained many times here. Just basically think of that as tiny little ice cubes, but it doesn't adhere to things. I know people hear sleet and put that in the same category as freezing rain.
They're like, I bought an ice cube on the power lines. It's going to knock the power line down.
It's not the same thing. It doesn't stick. It doesn't adhere to surfaces like that. So if you're thinking sleet, and I got text messages from LG&E, and I appreciate them being so proactive.
I got that too.
But I felt like a lot of people have heard sleet and associate sleet with power outages. Can that happen? Sure, because there is weight to it.
No question.
But it's not as dangerous or as
multiple magnitudes less.
Yes, as compared to freezing rain.
That is the horrible one.
Yes.
If you can stay away from that, you're great. Now, so Saturday night then into Sunday, let me take from here. Some parts of our area are going to go into sleet, some into freezing rain. We're going to have parts of our area that stay in full snow. This will then be in that transitory, some in sleet, freezing rain, some in sleet, snow, some in pure snow. Once we breach around noon to 2 on Sunday, everything rips back to snow and everybody will end this breezy system with snow in our area. So from here, you now have our conceptual model. Guys, what we're going to show you here is probably the reason you're here. What are we forecasting for snow in our area? One thing Rick and I will remind you on, it is not a top number, Rick.
Respect the range.
It's a range. When you look at these numbers, don't think, oh, I'm going to get the top number. No. What we always ask you guys to do is remember there's a top and there's a bottom. And the reason we do this is we have to account for scenarios. I've seen in Louisville where somebody got 6 and some got 2 inches. And if we were to put just one number out, we would be wrong for everybody. So please just understand as you look at this, view it as a range so that you can get that concept. Now, let's do it. We're going to show you the snow map. This is snow and sleet for our area. So I'm going to put this up full because I think people probably want to see everything here, Rick. London, Kentucky, Campbellsville, Munfordville, Columbia, Greensburg, Dunnensburg. We've got you in the 3 to 6, Rick, 6 to 12 inches of snow in other locations in our area.
Like E-Town, through Bardstown, into Shepherdsville, Taylorsville, down through Litchfield of Grayson County, into sections of Willisburg, Springfield. That's a 6 to 12, which means anything from 6, a half a foot to a foot. And I know it seems like a large range there, but when you factor in the fact that sleet could knock down some of those snow totals, I think it's important to realize that it's either going to be really fluffy stuff or it's going to be, a lot of sleet in there, which means it's going to be more dense in terms of the kind of snow that you get. That's why there's a wider range.
And you can also get this concept, Rick, as you get towards the top and approach another range, that means you're probably on the higher end of that range. So from here, I'm going to talk about the large that we have, the 10 to 15. We've got the 10 to 15 north of Hardinsburg. This goes through Brandenburg, comes up into the west end of Louisville. This goes through around the airport, through, let's say, around Middletown. We've got this north of Simpsonville. We're including Eminence, Jericho, Newcastle. I'm including you in Prospect. We've got you in the Goshen area. We've got you in LaGrange. Bedford, Kentucky. We've got you in 10 to 15. We've got you in 10 to 15 in Carrollton, in Madison. Now we cross over into the Indiana side, so we're in Madison. We've got you in 10 to 15 in Clarksville, in Scottsburg, in Henryville, in Salem, in Borden. We've got you in the 10 to 15 in Corydon, in English, in French Lick, in Paoli, in Jasper. We've got you in Bedford, Indiana. In the 10 to 15, we're including you right now in the 10 to 15 in Seymour and in North Vernon. Rick, I think if there's one area where it's conceivable we could have to trim maybe back a little bit, would be the far northern part of our area, maybe half of Jackson, Jennings, and Lawrence into 6 to 12, but it's on the border here. I think that either way you look at it, if you're in North Vernon, Seymour, Bedford, you're probably on the higher side of the 6 to 12 or the lower side of the 10 to 15.
Higher or lower, I agree with
The
that.
core is probably going to be near the river, and we are going to see, simply put, a very, very, very significant snow in our area. And that is the reality when it comes to this one, is this is going to be a high impact type of a scenario. So I hope that helps you understand what in terms to expect from snow for your area. Rick promised you one thing when the video was going to come to an end, is you're going to get to answer or ask some questions, and Rick and I are going to spend some time answering them. We went a little bit longer today only because we had a little technical issue. I mean, it wasn't technical. I mean, we blew up the feed because there were so many people. But we want to give you guys time to ask some questions. So number one, if you haven't shared the video, please do, because you can get your friends and family to come in into the Q&A portion, and we'll keep the snow map up. Second, thumbs up if you guys enjoy the analysis in these videos. It seems that we have massive numbers of people. And Rick, I do want to say something, because I think that I want to give a clap to everybody out there. Tonight's video puts us on our videos for the week on WDRB News at over 1 million views.
Sweet. Nice job. Thank you for joining us.
This is our first week since we've been doing them in Studio C where we've had 1 million viewers in a week, and obviously there's still a lot more videos to do. So we appreciate you guys for really supporting us so much. So from here, let's go into Q&A. You have questions, we have answers. Rick, let's open the floor up to questions, and these are going to fly by, I assume, really fast. I will say to you, if your question doesn't get answered, we can only see 6 on the screen at the same time, so don't feel bad asking a second time.
I have Kendra Stevie Sloan saying, what is the prediction for ice in Louisville? Kendra, we could see some sleet mixing in, but this is going to be primarily snow, which means there wouldn't be ice involved. There's not going to be any freezing rain adhering to power lines, tree branches, your house, anything like that with icicles. This is going to be snow, maybe a little bit of sleet in between late Sunday or Saturday night into Sunday morning, which does mean you don't have to worry about ice in Louisville.
Somebody asked here, and I think this is a good one, do I think that there's a chance that Louisville could get knocked down to 6 inches due to sleet? Brandon asked this question. So Brandon, is it possible? We have the southern part of the county in the 6 to 12. So the answer is yes. We do think that that sleet contamination is one of our biggest concerns in southern Louisville and Bullitt County. That's the reason why that range exists there. So we did feel that that's not out of the realm of possibility, hence the range there. So it's a great question.
I got one for you. I'll take this one.
Okay.
So Aaron Little says, what is your prediction for downtown Louisville in terms of snow accumulation? You saw that map, and I know sometimes when you look at these maps, you may not know where you are, a little disorienting. In downtown Louisville, it is a range of 10 to 15 inches of snow. Now, that 10 to 15, no matter what, you're looking at a large number when it comes to snowfall accumulation. This is going to be a big hitting snow. And I've had friends, some people around the area asking, are we going to get one big one this year? This is it.
Bingo!
Yeah.
January is our month.
I mean, this is
January, and you know what, for our snow lovers, and I'm talking to you out there, Wayne Little, right now. Wayne Little is one of our major snow lovers. Wayne, do you know that the last time that we had nearly a foot of snow in Louisville? I don't know if you're going to remember this one. I looked through the history to look at it.
I don't know.
11.9. It wasn't a foot, but 11.9 was in the 16 snow. But that was in March. Some of our snow lovers say you can't count that because
of
it
the
doesn't
spring
stay
snow,
around
yeah,
that
okay.
long.
Which, I mean, it's true. I get their point, but this one you will get to enjoy for a long period.
Well, you'll get to enjoy it, or to enjoy it, you're gonna have to freeze. Now, which brings up the obvious question, Rick DeLuca. You got those new sleds there. I'm sure you're gonna be waxing those up, getting them ready to go. How are you gonna handle the super cold? Are you gonna take Mia out in this super cold
I'm
sledding?
gonna have to. I bought the sleds.
Do you think she's gonna sled in that snow?
We're
in
probably
that
gonna,
temp?
we're probably gonna sled. My plan is to try to go out for a little bit
Okay.
late Saturday, just as we start to get the steady stuff before the sun goes
Not
down.
okay.
Not gonna
Okay.
be as cold. And then I would say I'm gonna go out on Sunday for a little while.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna venture out when wind chills are 10, 20 below. It's not even gonna be, because you put on, it takes a half hour.
That's
to get
super
a
nice
kid.
sled. You got those high-end sleds.
I didn't get high. Listen, I got the best deal possible. I just searched cheapest on Amazon, and that's what I got.
Shit, that's what came up. That's why it took a month to get to you.
Probably, but I don't care because the price was right. But basically, I don't want to go out in a long period of time. It takes like a half hour just to get all the snow stuff on the kid and yourself before you go outside, and then there's 20 minutes to take it all
you
off.
can barely move.
You can't do anything. So yeah, I want to go out, but it's going to be small intervals is going to be the key.
Somebody asked you a great question. This one coming in. Let me make sure I get the name here. They're going by super fast. I thought I saw somebody said, "Is there any probability?" There it is. Michael Weeble said, "Will it be possible to see locally higher than 15-inch totals near the transition line?" It's not impossible. It is actually possible. The issue is going to be, is there a def zone and exactly where it falls? If you do get a def zone, you will have locally numbers that could approach 20 inches. It is impossible to forecast a def zone 36 hours into the future. So what we will be doing in the coming days is trying to determine if a def zone is actually possible. But the question is a really, really valid and a good question. And there's been a number of good ones. Rick, I'm going to throw this one to you. David is asking, is it possible that this could move further south?
It's certainly possible. David, we still have time to dial in some of the intricacies, and basically the devils are in the details when it comes to all these storms. So could it shift a little bit? Yes. I would just say for now, look at the range and realize that there are going to be subtle changes, but don't grasp on one higher or lower than the other. I know everyone kind of wants to grasp and pull and reach for those higher totals. Just stick with us. We're going to show you this map and just kind of fine tune that throughout the rest of the weekend. But we're less than 24 hours.
I think it would be fair to say that we've really, I think our ranges account for the scenarios.
That's true.
I don't think that we've put ourselves in a position where
it's minor adjustments at this point.
These will be tweaks here. So Zach is from Hardinsburg. Zach, thanks for joining us in on our stream here tonight. Zach is saying, I am in the Hardinsburg area. So what am I? Am I on the upper end of the 6 to 12, possibly lower of the 10 to 15? You got it, my friend. Zach, that is exactly where we have you, and we appreciate you focusing on the range. Thank you. That helps us to do a little bit better. Somebody's asking from Valley Station. Rick Sonia is saying, is Valley Station in 6 to 12 or 10 to 15? I think it's fair what we could say on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the map, you were basically right on the line. But I would lean more towards the 10 to 15.
So on the upper end of the 6 to 12, the lower end of the 10 to 15. Remember, it's if you're on the high side of one and the low side of the other, you can ballpark that pretty well. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see any other questions here. They're going by so fast. Is there a sleet and an ice and a sleet map from Chris? And Chris, yes, we didn't have enough time in this video because we still need to go analyze data for the 10 o'clock news to go through that, unfortunately. So we kept that one, but we will be showing that to you on WDRB News at 10. So don't worry, we're not going to not show that. We just didn't have the time in this live video here to do the ice amount. So Rick, we got off to a little bit of a late start, not necessarily late, but I think
we had introduced something cool and new.
Yeah, and so that kind of took a little bit of time. So we're now into our last three questions of the Facebook Live videos. Rick, I'll let you start and end us.
All right. Let's see what we got here. You weren't kidding about these questions.
They're going crazy, right?
I just can't keep up. Let's see.
Okay, I'm going to answer a quick one. Any live videos for tomorrow? Yes. I want to mention this. Rick and I are both considering how we can help tomorrow. You may see one of us, you may see both of us, you may see none of us, but we will be doing lives here. Jude Redfield will be part of some at times, Bryce Jones, Everybody's going to be looking at weather during the entire weekend. Understand that we will all be working and looking at the data, and then understand that you'll see some of us. Sometimes you won't see some of us, but we're all working together to make sure that the numbers are what people need. And again, every member of the team, you know how it works. Whether you're physically in the building or not, mentally, it's hard to leave the building.
Yeah, I mean, when there's weather happening, we're like robots. You can't stop us. You can't turn us off.
All right, Rick, got
would you
one?
mind put that map up for me? Because I do have
You
a
bet.
question. This one from Bailey Puckett asking, what about Taylorsville? I just wanted to double check. Yeah, Taylorsville, you are in that 6 to 12-inch stripe, the darker shade of blue. So hopefully, Bailey, that helps you prepare. And hopefully everyone else is already prepared. You did all your, running around. I saw a lot of people out there today at every single store.
I know.
And the gas lines gassing up, which I think is
I don't get it. There's not going to be a gas shortage because of this. You'll be able to get to the gas station.
I disagree.
No.
It's
Did
not
you go to get gas today?
Yeah, not because of the shortage, but listen, hear me out, okay? This is my
I've
crazy
known
brain.
you for a long time, Mr. DeLuca.
This is my crazy brain, but if there's an emergency and I had to get out on the road, and then let's say there's some accident and I get stuck. This is my paranoia just coming out right now. And I get stuck, no. And I get stuck in on an interstate trapped. I want to be.
Okay, I'll admit that.
It's
It's happened to me.
It's probably because I have a kid now. I'm more concerned.
Fair.
I've changed. I'm a grown man now, Mark. You got to give me some credit.
You're not grown. Old man is more what I would say.
That's literally what I went through my mind. I was like, well, if someone gets out and this, and I want to have gas, and I just stopped.
Out through the mouth. Don't run on the gas.
I'm not hoarding the gas. I'm just, and there's only one car I did it, not the other one. Just trying to take my credibility away here.
It's gone. Mandy is wondering if this will be a wet snow. Initially, everything will be a very dry snow. So what falls tomorrow will be a dry snow. That's the kind where if you want to go with the leaf blower type of method to try to blow it off the driveway, tomorrow's when you can do that. Sunday, because that sleet line is getting closer to Louisville, will lower the ratios. That is going to be a little bit more of a wet snow in that time. And then as it comes to an end, it would turn more towards that fluffy stuff. If you're in the far northern part of our area, it is going to be fluffy all the way through. That would include North Vernon, Seymour, and the Bedford area. Rick, I'm going to leave the last question for you, my friend.
Okay. And before we get to this, I just want to mention, if we get over 10.4 inches of snow, this will be one of the top 10 heaviest snows in Louisville.
Storm total.
Storm total.
Some people are going to ask this one. What's the big boy? I'm going to answer the question, but I'm going to give you guys a chance on the side here. What do you think our biggest snowstorm total in our area is? And I'm going to give you a thumbs up whoever's first to answer it correctly. Let's see. I know what probably the first answer is going to be here. No, I haven't seen an answer yet. Just put the year in, and that's all you need to do. Waiting. You seeing anything yet? Somebody put the number in, 22.4, but I need the year. Somebody said 1937, not correct. Somebody said 1998 from Connor Revel. Connor, you nailed it. Storm total record for our area came in 1998. Somebody want to guess what the number 2 on the list is? Somebody already did. They guessed 1994, which I believe off the top of my head was 15.9.
Yep.
And then the next in our modern times would be 2016. Was 11.9, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, I know 1978 is also a top 3. Rick, I'm going to guess 1978 was 13.8?
15.7.
15.7. So you kind of get then some...
sheet.
I knew you did, but so 1978, one of the epic blizzards in our area was 15.8. Then the 15.9 is 1994, and then 22.4 is 1998. As Rick noted, 10.4 storm total, if we were to get that during this entire storm, would put us as a top 10 biggest snows in our area. So is it possible?
Absolutely.
It is possible. So number one, guys, there's 2,130 of you guys in here. I just want every one of you to click the share button right now, because I think a lot of people, even after this video comes to an end, would be highly interested in what we've just discussed. Number 2, let us know. I've got my phone right here. If you guys enjoy the video, I want to see some thumbs up and some hearts across the screen, not the angry face that I hit earlier. And let me remind you guys, we're going to go back into the weather office now, and we've got 35 minutes before we go on to air. We'll be analyzing right through the 10 o'clock newscast and into Rick's newscast on WDRB News at 11. We're going to be updating. If you're on the edge of the range, that could be some changes there. Do we need to add a little bit of that fine tuning, that higher zone? Could we resolve that deformation axis? We'll be updating you on WDRB News at 10. So if you're in here right now, I need you to watch at 10, 10:22, 10:37. Rick DeLuca will be on at 11 and 11:17. Decide which one of these works best for your schedule, or better yet, watch both of us at 10 and 11.
I like that idea.
And that's, you know, in the end of all this, my bosses will come to us and say, wow, those ratings were really good last night. And that's how you guys support us. That's how you make sure that we are going to continue to do this for many years to come. So we're going to wrap this video up. We're going to get ready for the news at 10, update snow totals. If you don't follow Rick DeLuca, he's a great follow. He's here when I'm out of town, on vacation, maybe scuba diving. If you don't follow me, please do, because you'll get an alert when I go live. If you're one of our 553 people that are watching right now on YouTube, please subscribe to our page. It's WDRB News. That way you get an alert. And if the Facebook ever freezes like that, by the way, always just go over to our YouTube page, WDRB News, because that won't stream, that won't freeze. We don't know why the Facebook side did. From there, thank you guys for everybody joining in tonight. We're over 1 million on the week views on our videos. I'll see you on WDRB News at 10. Rick will see you on WDRB News at 11.